Now, one thing I noticed is they forcing these conversations. You know, they forcing you to have these conversations, and it's probably not something easy. Now, I believe it went over my 9-year-old son's head. We went to see a soccer movie because both of them play soccer. Now, the movie was PG-13, but that just means parents' guidance or parent guardian for people 13 and under. So the movie was pretty clean. Like, I don't recall like a whole lot of, I don't recall anything really like inappropriate. Like, it was no like love making scene. Could have been some language in there, but not a whole lot. And it was about the American Samoas. The American Samoa, they soccer team. But the star character was a transgender. I say, boy, but they just can't help themselves, boy. They had to force the system. The star character was a transgender. It is a man. He had a strong jawline, but he looked like a woman. Now, in real life, it could have been a woman that they made look a little masculine. I don't know. He had a little deep voice on him. And so he on the soccer team. It's a men's soccer team. And the man is in his transition phase. He taking his pills. And he taking his pills to make his transition. He eventually tell the coach, he say, let's put it like this. He said, I'm still legal. Because the coach was like, do you got your dang-a-lang? Or you got your vajay? The man say, let's put it like this, I'm still legal. And the thing about it is in real life, I don't know if it's a man or a woman. But as a woman, you know, the person had long hair. And it's women that look like that. And quite frankly, it's women that look, I don't want to use the word worse, but it's women that look worse than that. So now here it is, a whole nother agenda. Because not only is they showing that, hey, a grown man can decide to be a woman whenever he get ready to, but it's also showing that, hey, men, if you want you a transgender, here go a transgender, and there's some women that look worse than this. Like, there are women with more facial hair than this transgender had. Transgender really ain't had no facial hair. You could see like a little stubble in certain parts of it. But I'm like, man, they really put this thing on you. So that means even if you're 14, you don't need the PG. It's PG-13. So if you 14, you in there scot-free. But still, 14, that's still a conversation for a 14-year-old. Hey, so, Mom, so you mean to tell me I could just decide to just switch from an ankle lane one day? I say, boy, this is a sign of the times, boy. Because it's one thing if you want to do that. Okay, if you want to do that, all right. Go on about your business. Handle your business now. You want to do that. But I heard a lady on the stand. They was talking about the gender switching. And one of the doctors or whoever she was, she told the judge or whoever that was up there, because it was like a hearing. So it was a bunch of people up there. She told her that she said 100% of the time, the gender switch fails. Meaning that a person cannot go from a penis to a vagina and it work. Like, you can't make the switch. I mean, think about it. If it was able to be done, then that means a human is God. But God made this body so intricately. It's so intricately woven that space that has held the penis cannot be turned into a vagina, because that vagina it's working with the whole body. That vagina is connected to the brain. The vagina have a menstrual cycle. In its normalcy, unless something is irregular, it has a menstrual cycle. It's a lot connected. The vagina also, it is down there, and the woman body receiving the egg dropping, so it could be fertilized, and then the baby, and then that goes up, that's in the stomach. So it's like, okay, how far that egg coming down, where that sperm meeting that egg at, and then it go from there. Is the sperm meeting the egg in the stomach, or the sperm meeting the egg in a uterus, or what's going on now? Like, when we get into the anatomy of this thing, so you can't go recreate that. you can't recreate. You have to be God. You got to be God for that thing to recreate and to work. So the lady on the stand, y'all gonna see it now because I done said it. The lady on the stand, she say, well, so how often, what is the success rate of the gender swap, like the transgender? What's the success rate? And the lady say, well, technically, there is no success rate. Then the lady on the stand, she say, listen to me, answer my question. Can a man change his genital and become a woman? And the lady was like, no, it has never successfully been done. I was like, wow. I was blown. So I'm like, so what is a transgender? So I'm at this point, I'm like, so what is a transgender? So this is a thought? This is a thought? So then I started thinking, okay, well, all right, well, you could take the pills. They got pills that'll transition you, like your hormones. So like if a woman want to become a man, she could take the pills, and then she start to grow hair, and she could grow chin hair and get muscles. Man want to become a woman, he could take the pills, he'll start to grow breasts. He start to soften up. But that main part down there in the front, you out of luck. You out of luck. You out of luck. And you can go get it chopped off if you want to. What you get replaced ain't gonna work, right? It ain't gonna do what it's supposed to do. And I'm like, this is a big conversation that Disney or whoever produced this movie, it's called Next Goal Wins. Like, whoever produced this movie, like, this is a big conversation y'all trying to have for 14-year-olds. Like, come on now, man. Come on now. And then the coach, he got mental issues, anger issues. His daughter died. So at one point in the movie, he calls the transgender his daughter name. So now it's saying like, okay, this man is fully accepted as a woman, to the point that the coach has now replaced the thought of his daughter with this transgender man, who is an adult male who play on his adult male soccer team. Now, and then the movie took and made the transgender man the star of the movie. So the man, well, really it will be called a woman, because so the coach, the man named Johnny, but he go by Saya or Sia or Saya, I think. And so they asked the American Samoa man, he said, well, what's going on now? Like, because the white man, he asked the Samoa man, he said, now what's going on now? Like, you got this, is this a man? Is this a woman? Then the man was like, Saya and these type of individuals, they represent like flowers. Like, what would the world be without a flower? He's like, they basically spruce life up. Basically what he was saying. And so essentially what it's showing is like, the soccer players, they hugging up on Saya. And at one point, one man like leaning on on the transgender arm or head to head. So basically it's showing like, oh, these men who you would assume would be heterosexual, they are into transgenders. They want them a transgender. Now, this is a thing that's becoming, because we've seen this with the former NBA player, Dwight Howard, has come out, just this all completely known. It's not like I'm not gossiping or anything, but here you have a 6'10", very muscular NBA player who is sleeping with transgender. And he had a man come over, the man named Kitty. The man named Kitty comes over, and then they had another man who was just a homosexual man. So now you had a homosexual man, then you had a transgender man, Kitty, who dressed like a woman, and then you got Dwight Howard, which I'm not sure what to call that. I'm guessing a homosexual man, or maybe they would call it a bisexual man, but there's no such thing as bisexual. If you sleep with a man, you're a homosexual. And so this is something that got to be addressed, something that we need to know about. But now the thing about it is they putting it in the movie. And now another thing, when you watching Hulu or Peacock, or you watch one of these streaming services, now it's a lot of AIDS. It's a lot of AIDS medicine. And in all the AIDS medicine, they showing a gay black man. And I'm like, listen, okay, we know that we have gay black men. But the last one that I seen, some type of medicine, I can't remember the name of it because some of the stuff be hard to pronounce. They had a black man who looked about 6'6" and about 300 pounds, with a stomach on him, with acrylic nails. So now this is just very detrimental for the human mind, for the male mind, because now, visual people, you looking and you seeing a 6'6", 300+ pound man with nails. And he in the commercial very, very feminine. I mean, he very feminine in the commercial. So now it's like they take this here pill, they take out of all of the black men in the world, this is their depiction of black men. A 300-pound, 6'6", feminine man. So they saying this pill is for y'all black men that are gay, to get y'all with your AIDS and stuff. And then they saying this is the image of black men. So they didn't want to take a gay black man who don't have on nails, who don't have on acrylic nails, who don't act feminine, who still just he consider himself masculine. They took a very feminine, oversized, meaning the average height is 5'9". So this guy, he bigger than the average. And they put him in the commercial. And it's like 3-4 brands that I'm seeing that they using. Another one take a black man with a really long beard. Look like the beard that a wizard would wear. Not like the cool beard, but the really long beard come down, way down low. And now they taking and they got that there. He in there. They show him it's another kind of pill. It's another kind of pill, for these men. And they show him and he leaning his head on another man. They just gallivanting through the park. I'm like, man, this is imagery. So this imagery, so you sitting there, you watching your show, and then they saying this is the image of black men. Feminine, dates men, likes men, angling, in the angling, entering the exit, creating disease. This is what the commercial is saying to you. It's saying, hey, you're a gay black man, you sleeping with black men, y'all got AIDS. Here's this pill to help you with your AIDS. Here go the pill to help you with your AIDS. This right here help you. It's I kind of black out, so I can't remember what they saying on the commercial, but they saying like this help is like they saying like this not a cure, but they like this help you not get detected or help you regulate or not test positive for HIV. I'm just confused. I'm like, man. Because here's the thing. The reason why I'm bothered by it is because representation matters. And we already don't have enough positive representation. Like we don't have enough universal representation of different images. Like we don't have enough representation of heterosexual black men. Like I really don't get to see commercials with enough commercial with heterosexual black men, but I keep seeing overflowing of commercials with homosexual black men. And then the issue with it is this is the media and this is marketing. But we all know that for ages, black people have been the last people to be used for commercials. So why now, when you use a pill that is for gay men, you choose a black man? Like, no, continue your trend of media marketing with white males. Continue your trend. Like, don't give us this job to promote something that the Bible speaks against, that several other religions speak against, several cultures don't want to promote. It's like, yes, when it happens, you see this deviation from the norm and you accept the individuals, you love the individuals, you embrace the individual, these individuals in your family, you embrace them, you love them, but that doesn't mean that you promote it because this is an adult choice. That doesn't mean you promote it to children who are still in their phase of, they're still learning, they're still growing, they're still trying to figure themselves out. So you don't necessarily promote it to children because that's a big conversation and that's a big decision where if they become an adult and they decide that this adult man decide he want to be a woman or this adult man decide he want to be with men, you grown musky man. But for a child who's still in the imprinting phase of learning who they are, where they fit in the world, it's very irresponsible of adults to be presenting those type of conversations and topics to the youth. It just very, and because see, some people feel unseen, some people feel unheard, so they will choose something for attention, and it not even be who they are or what they want. And some people will pretend and will fake it for attention because they feel unseen and unheard. And so, and that's again what we as parents and teachers, instructors, what we have to make sure our children are heard, make sure they're seen, make sure that they are praised, make sure that they're reinforced. Otherwise, they could go into another lifestyle out of attention-seeking behavior, and it's not just a pure thing. And this kind of stuff that we have to be aware of, and you got to be mindful of it, what shows you watching and what stuff you let stream. And then also with your children, if you're going to have YouTube, download YouTube for kids. So that way they watching just kid videos, not the regular YouTube where they're going to be bumping into all these different commercials with these different messages that make them wonder, like, you don't want your son watching this video and then he see two men kissing and then he see like at school, he got a little girlfriend, he got a little wife, but now he's like, oh, so men could kiss men, like boys could kiss boys. So then he go to school, and then when the little boy who has been exposed to this stuff come to try to kiss your son mess around and kiss him because he done seen this on all the commercials on YouTube and Hulu, Peacock, not Netflix, but whatever little streaming stuff that's showing these commercials. And this the thing, because that's an adult decision. Like if you decide to go into a relationship where you can't reproduce, you have to adopt, or you got to have a surrogate, then that's an adult decision. That's not a decision that a kid should be confronted with at 8 years old, 9 years old, if they want to be with their same sex. That's something that's an adult decision. But the way our media is going, the way our world is going, they are presenting this lifestyle and presenting this stuff to the youth. And as parents, aunts, uncles, school teachers, whoever, wherever you fall in this, grandmother, grandfather, you got to be a steward over this and mindful that you really inspecting what you expect, meaning you watching what your young ones are watching. So, and you preparing yourself for the conversations that need to be had. Because what you don't really want to have in a development phase, they say the brain isn't even fully developed to the age of 25. So like what Dwayne Wade's son did, you don't really want to be confronted with that. He had to go through it. He had to take that, on the chin, no pun intended. He had to accept that. And him and Gabrielle, and at the same time with him and Gabrielle, sometimes them spirits that adults have, and if you into some nastiness and if you into all kind of stuff, sometimes the spirits transfer, because you never know what the young man, before he decided to be a young lady, you never know what kind of magazines, what kind of videos, what type of toys he done bumped into, and what type of stuff just, being by himself, being with a nanny all the time, being, unregulated, what he watched and seen. I guarantee you, if he get on YouTube, he saw these men who wear makeup and they do makeup. And then these men dealing with men. And when you sitting there, you feeling lonely, you feeling unseen, you feeling unheard, you feeling overlooked, you feeling like you're not special. Your big brother is special. He going to the NBA. Your dad is special. And you just feel overlooked. You may want to make a decision that's going to get you in the magazines, get you in the blogs, get you out there, get you seen, get you heard, because they could have made a decision and not told a single blog, not told a single, like, okay, that's his decision. He wants to be a woman. He want to be the boy want to be a girl. Okay, we don't need a press release. We don't need a press release. We don't need that. That's your household. That's your household. Keep that in your household. We didn't know the boy before that. So why we need to know him now? We did not know the boy when he was a boy. We do not need to know the boy when he decided he want to be a girl. That okay? All right. God bless you. God bless you. I ain't see the boy on damn blog when he was a boy. Why I got to see him when he decided to become a girl? See, you got to understand about these agendas. These agendas, this right here stuff being promoted, and this the thing, is the mind is delicate. The mind is impressionable. It's grown people changing their whole life based on grown people they follow online. So think about this. If a grown person will change the course of their life, will make decisions in their life based on who they follow on social media, how much more do you think a child will be affected? Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Do I need to go work for NASA? Is this rocket science? Come on now. Come on now. Hey. Listen, you better watch what your kids watching. You better watch what your kids watching. Lil Johnny be back there on that YouTube all day. Come out Jane. Lil Jane be back there on that YouTube all day. Come out John. I had listen, my 9-year-old. He go to hang out with friends. He go to hang with a homeboy. I say, listen, no kissing boys. If a boy try to kiss you, do not let him kiss you. No touching in the private areas. You know your private areas? Can't nobody touch you in your private area, because guess what? I don't know who he going to hang with. I don't know who their parents is. And so these kids today, they getting turned out to a reprobate mind at a young age because they raising themselves on YouTube. So yeah, some people be like, oh, let your child be a child. No, that's what the devil want. The devil want a child that is unguarded by their parent. The devil, that's what the devil want. That's why the Bible say train. The Bible ain't say just let them grow. The Bible ain't say just let your child be a child. The Bible say spare the rod, you will spoil your child. Meaning if you ain't spanking your child, chastising your child, it might not be a physical spanking. But it was talking about a physical spanking. Spare the rod, you spoil your child. The Bible say train your child up in the way that he should go, so that when he is old, he will not depart from it. We don't want to hear it though. If little Johnny wants to wear a dress, I'm going to let him wear a dress. If you don't get little Johnny from around here with that dress on, oh, all right, little Johnny want to wear a dress, get him from around here then. I'm not finna have my son coming to me talking about, yeah, Dad, I want to wear a dress. What? Whole olive oil bottle. What's it? Read the whole Bible. Bible study. Bible study. Oh, no. See, this what you got to realize when you see them DC Marvel comic movies, all them different movies, how they have the villain, they come to destroy the world. That's what you got to understand, that for the adversary, this is deeper. This deeper than little Johnny having freedom of choice. This deeper than that. See, what the devil want is the devil want to see the ceasing of human existence. So if the devil could get millions of men to be with men, how many babies does that cut out? Because not all of them going to be able to afford adoption. And at some point, we're going to run out of the kids to get adopted. So if the devil could get more men, see, the people think, adults think this about you and your sexual fantasies and about you, who you want to love. This ain't about that. On the spiritual side, it's about population control. On the spiritual side, it's about ceasing what God started. Come on now. Come on now. Hey, I'm going to tell y'all how I be on here on these videos, and I just be talking and just my little personality. I'm starting to realize that sometimes my videos, they get out there, they be seen, but I'm starting to realize my little personality on these videos is comedians starting to use it in they little skits. My little words and stuff, little words I say, like no pun intended, little words and stuff. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. I wrote that guy Funny Marco about that. Because I used to always say that. I was going viral. I was talking about it's a mindset that he made that his thing. And then so not to say nothing, but listen, I don't be telling no jokes on here. Ain't nothing but the truth. But sometimes, listen. Sometimes, and when I tell you this how you know I work all the way for God. Because the stuff I say, imagine if I had 10 million subscribers. The stuff I say will have me on Good Morning America, having to defend myself. CNN, Fox News, all in MSNBC, but I ain't big enough, so don't nobody hear what I be saying. But the stuff I say, the conversations that we having, these are cancelable conversations. These conversations that'll get me canceled just because of the side that I'm on. Like, listen, because I'm looking at the bigger picture. I like, okay, I understand you a man and you want you some ooty hole of another man, but y'all can't have kids. So if these women over here say, if the women start saying, no, we don't want to give you these eggs, I'm not finna give you my eggs. You want to be with a man? Be with a man. What if women start saying that? You want to be with a man? Be with a man. Go ahead. Go right ahead, buddy. Go right ahead. John and Tommy, y'all want to be together? Go right ahead. You're not getting these eggs. So what about women start saying, it's my body, my choice. You ain't getting these eggs. So now, John and Tommy, y'all can't have no kid. So now, if it's millions of y'all that want to be together, that's millions of kids that will not be had. Let's say it's 1 million gay couples and they cannot have kids. Every couple who have kids may have 1 to 4 kids. Some gonna have more, but at least you're gonna typically see 1 to 3, I'll say. So that's 1 million to 3 million kids that can't be had. And that's only just 1 million couples. But guess what? If they go adopt, now being raised in that environment, their children may decide to be with the same sex. So because we are imprinted as humans, we do what we see, we do what we learn. So now the children may say, well, I'm going to be with the same sex because I was raised by 2 dads or I was raised by 2 moms. So I'm going to be with the same sex as well. So now I done seen this happen in my own family. My cousin, she had kids. She decides she want to be with women. Well, one of her children decide she want to be with women. That's how it happens sometimes. So that's what I'm talking about. So now, imagine generation after generation doing this. And you know the world gonna keep changing. The world gonna start to say stuff like, oh, we got to put a tax on these eggs. Oh, we got to raise the price of surrogates. Surrogate already costs like $100,000. Who can afford that? Not no everyday gay. You got to be a rich gay to afford you a surrogate. So we see people that go out there and do it, but they got money. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. You got to think about it spiritually. This ain't just about trying to cancel nobody's rights and trying to control people or trying to discriminate. What I'm trying to say is, the more y'all keep doing this, 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, we finna mess around and cease to exist. Because it's gonna be so many men with men, so many women with women, and then it's gonna be a gender line, and then it's gonna start being gender wars. So the men gonna start that's what the Bible say, becoming lovers of themselves. The men gonna start to say, oh, I'm finna tax for this sperm. The women finna start saying, I'm finna tax for these eggs. And so we over here, women with women, men with men, we taxing for our God-given reproductive vitamins, assets. So now this created to where only the rich can afford to have a surrogate or can afford to adopt. Population control. Humans ceasing to exist. The villain getting what he wanted. Because the villain don't want to see God's beautiful creation continue to be reproduced. So, yes, it's a lot of gay women who are married to a man. And it's a lot of gay men who are married to a woman. And I'm going to tell you why they did it. They did it because you could look at them and you could tell that they was introduced to something else at a young age. But they did it because they say, well, this ain't in my religion. My religious beliefs is against this. Or this ain't advantageous. Me being with my same side is not advantageous for the advancement of the human race. I can't add to the human race. So that's why some of them choose to still be with the opposite sex. But then we also come to a place where people like, man, they like, man, forget that. Hey, they want to be with their same side. They're like, man, I don't care if I can't have no kid. Like, they're like, bump it. What you worry about me reproducing for and you littering? You affecting climate. You affecting climate change. You with all them plastic straws. So why you worry about me over here reproducing? So now it become that type of thing. Tit for tat. Oh, you're worried about me not being able to reproduce. But you're over there with your plastic straw. Listen here, buddy. Listen. All I'm saying is that's your choice, my boy. That's your choice. You want your man, that's your choice. But what I'm talking about is to the directors and the TV. Like, don't put this in movies that kids finna watch. Don't put this on commercials, on shows that kids finna watch. Like, I'm watching the game. with my 9-year-old, and then he got to look at the commercial and two men kissing. Come on now. Come on now. Don't do that now. Come on now. We got to do better. We got the kids shouldn't be confronted with that stuff. And that's the thing with old Ron DeSantis. Crazy as he is, all the stuff he be doing. But that man passed that bill, say, let kids be kids, man. Like, listen, we don't need to be having these gender wars with these kids. Had them, and they got to come to 10 years old, and now they got to decide, do you want to stay the same gender or do you want to change? Come on now. Come on now. That's too much for a child. Come on now. Now you grown and musky, pH off, and you want to make a decision. Okay. All right. That's your decision. Keep that over there. Don't put it in the blog. I don't need to see it in the blog. I ain't see you in the blog before. I don't need to see you in the blog. Nah. If I ain't know about your talent as an NFL player, I don't need to know about your sexual preference as an NFL player. If I didn't know about your talent as an NBA player, I don't need to know about your sexual preference as an NBA player. We're not doing a press release for all of the other people that got a sexual preference for the opposite sex. So don't do no press release for the people who got a sexual preference for the same sex. If it's not a big deal and you want people to be accepted, then stop publicizing them like they a zoo animal. If you want them to be accepted and to be loved, then stop making a big deal about it. Just let the people choose in private like the rest of us. I'm not on the cover of GQ for marrying my wife. But if I came out and say I want to be with me old man, they gonna throw me on all kind of covers. Celebrity life coach Tony Gaskins at 39 years old decide he want him a booty hole. So GQ, Vogue, like Bruce Jenner. It's like, bro, okay, you want to be Caitlyn? We don't need to hear about it. We don't need to hear about it. Bro, all right. Congratulations. Bye. We ain't got to hear about that. Now we got to be sitting there listening to Bruce masculine behind with that wig on, telling all his thoughts and feelings and decisions. Listen, Bruce, we wasn't listening to you before, so we don't want to hear what Caitlyn think. If we didn't want to hear what Bruce think, we do not want to hear what Caitlyn think. Like, okay, if you want to be normal, then be normal. Stop doing press conferences and press releases and magazine covers. If it's truly not an agenda, if it's not a mass agenda, then stop publicizing it like it's something. And see, so the thing about it is what I'm telling you is they're going to do what they do. They're going to publicize it. They're going to push it. They don't care who see the message. They don't care who kids is confused by it. They don't care who kids sitting up there scratching their head like, hold on now, what did I just see on this commercial? They don't care about that. So that's why you have to take care of those young minds in your life. And you got to make sure that they receiving attention and affirmation and affection and love and courage and positivity. Like, you got to make sure that they not an idle mind. That's the devil playground. You got to make sure of that. Even if it's your niece and your nephew, your grandson, your granddaughter, even if that ain't your biological child, if you got access to that child, make sure you speak in life. Make sure you encouraging. Make sure you uplifting. Make sure that child feels seen and they feel heard, because that's where the devil is seeping in at and coming in with these children who don't feel seen and heard, and they saying, oh, and the devil just right there in their ear, oh, you ought to, nobody likes you as a boy. You know, you don't like sports like your big brother who's going to the NBA. So you ought to be a girl, because you can't play sports like your dad and your brother. So you ought to be a girl. That's what the devil started to just whisper, just whisper, just whisper. And that child not being affirmed as a young boy for liking art and for liking coding, if he being made to feel less than because he don't want to play sports, so now he feel like the only way he could be accepted is to become a girl. Because if he just want to paint all day, he can't be the next greatest painter. He get talked down. Oh man, that's all you gonna do is paint. Why don't you go catch a ball? Why don't you go out there and play soccer with your brother? Why don't you go play basketball with your brother? Why are you just sitting here painting all the time? He not being affirmed. Guess what? He gonna look and he gonna say, well, little girls could paint all day and they not being picked on and bullied by their parents, by their older siblings, by their grandma, their granddaddy. They not hearing all of these remarks by people. So you know what? I'm gonna tick everybody off. I got something for you. Finna be a girl. So you got to think about this thing spiritually. This ain't about me hating. I don't hate nobody. If I meet a gay man, I treat him just like a heterosexual man. What going on with you? Y'all. Y'all. You good? All right, y'all. I treat him the same way. I don't treat him like... I don't treat him like that. I treat him the same way. But at the same time, I still have the responsibility to evaluate it spiritually and understand this ain't just about this bigger than our feelings. This bigger than just what we think it is. The devil always the devil always got an agenda. He always gonna try to make something into something. He trying to do something with this. It ain't just freedom of choice. He trying to see something. He trying to change something. He trying to stop something. He trying to upend something. Trust me when I tell you. Hey, boxing coming on tonight. God bless y'all. We'll talk soon.